A petition has been filed against one of the Wood County Board of Education members. Chad Conley filed it against BOE member Deborah Hendershot. The petition is asking the court to void and nullify her appointment because she was allegedly not a resident of District C at the time. She was appointed by the board to fill a seat that was left vacant by Sarah Townsend after Townsend stepped down for health reasons. Hendershot was a former BOE member who resigned from her seat to run for magistrate during the spring of 2024. The petition claims that her appointment puts 3 members of the board in District A, which is in violation of West Virginia Code. We will continue to follow this lawsuit and provide updates.